There was a beautiful kingdom in ancient times. The king of that kingdom was very generous, religious, and loved the people. He would make the most beautiful kingdom arrangements for the happiness of his people and would make the strictest laws for their protection. He introduced a new law that would punish the criminal for committing a crime. Many evil spirits who broke the law were expelled from the kingdom. There was peace and prosperity all around the kingdom. But once a mistake, the same crime happened to the king. The king was very sad. If the king wanted, he could have hidden that crime. But the king was honest. The next day, he came to the royal court with a very sad heart and told everyone about his crime. He also ordered in strict words that I am a criminal and I should be punished for this crime. All the courtiers present in the court did not want to expel such a religious king from the kingdom. But the king was adamant. He said in clear words, "When I will not follow the laws of the kingdom, how will the people follow them? That's why I should be expelled from the country." Finally, the court decided that the king would be expelled from the kingdom. But now the question was, who should be the next king? In that kingdom, it was customary to find a suitable person from among the subjects and make him the king. Until the new king was chosen, the old king was forced to handle the affairs. And the king had to accept this. In those days, elections were not held by reading the board like today. He did not know this method of election. But he knew very well that this method is not so effective. Because some useless person can be chosen by the power of greed, corruption, and false propaganda. That's why the virtues of a person were the criteria for his election. The person who proves his worth in everyone, he is chosen. The king of that kingdom was a religious man, the prime minister of that kingdom was also intelligent. He fixed the day of the election of the new kingdom. And made this announcement in the whole kingdom that whoever comes to the palace at 10 a.m. and meets the king first, he will be made the king. The palace was located on a rocky hill, about 2 miles from the capital city. But all the doors were opened. There was no restriction to go inside. The king's seat was also open. And it was announced to everyone during the announcement. 2 days before the king's election, the prime minister emptied the whole city. And decorated it well. All kinds of comforts and luxuries were kept in place throughout the city. And everyone was free to take them. No one had to pay any price. Everything was free. Somewhere the fruit stalls were open, somewhere the games were happening. Somewhere the comfortable bed was laid, somewhere the beautiful clothes were getting free. Beautiful and soft-fitting clothes were standing for the service of people. Everywhere, the political servants were standing with milk in their hands and a glass of juice. The whole city was fragrant with the sprinkling of perfume and the decoration of sandalwood. Every street corner of the city was decorated as if it were a palace. On the day of the election, all the doors of the palace were open from the morning itself. And people were allowed to enter the decorated city. When the people standing outside the city entered the city, they were stunned to see its decoration. Everyone started drinking free juice and milk. Someone sat on the sweet shop, someone went to watch a movie. Some people started liking free jewelry and clothes, some people started dancing around the beautiful women. Everyone started enjoying the comforts of their own interest. 2 days earlier, all the citizens were told that the right time to meet the king is exactly 10 o'clock. After this, the person who reaches will not be considered a state official. The fair of city decoration and luxury goods is only for a short time. After a fixed time, it will be removed. There was not a single person in the city who was not told all these things repeatedly. And everyone had listened to it with open ears. But the city's decoration and free luxury goods had tempted everyone. No one wanted to leave them. People started looking at the meeting of the king from the perspective of expectation. Some were thinking that let others go, I will run and reach before them. Some were thinking that there is still a lot of time left. Some thought that take the things in front of you, if you do not get the kingdom, then they will also go by hand. Some started making fun of the fact that they got the kingdom. That this conversation has been made so that we cannot enjoy the things of luxury that we are getting here. 1 or 2 of the crowd dared to leave the city and walk towards the palace. But after walking a little distance, the steep roads of the palace, the height of the hill and the beauty of the city changed their mind. And they returned to the city on their back legs. The whole city was immersed in the luxury goods. No one cared about the time. It was 10 o'clock. But none of the thousands of citizens could reach the palace. The poor king sat alone in the court. The prime minister was happy that his move was successful. When no one came to meet the king, he had to handle the kingdom's affairs again.